business. All join hands and repeat after me. It's none of your business. All join hands. It's what the public demand.
Hello, welcome back, dear listeners, to an interstitial episode of Steve's Attic Songs. The 10th and final song is ready, but the podcast is not. So we've decided to create another one, and we'll be looking at the cutting room floor outtakes. Ones that didn't make the cut. The rejects, exactly. With us in the attic today is Bob.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
It's good to have
Nice
you.
to be here.
And of course, Steve.
Hello.
Fiddling with the machinery over there.
Yes. I think we're about there.
So how many tracks do you have?
Along the way, there's been between 5 and 10 other songs that made it to the point where I actually recorded them in some shape or form. And the intention today is to listen to some of those, understand why I didn't bring them to the final review, if it isn't obvious. And yeah, maybe I got it wrong. Maybe some of them did have potential. But these demos of demos, if you like, are first and second take vocals, so they're not mixed really, they're not balanced demos, so they're pretty rough and ready.
Okay.
So we've got to look beyond the quality and at the song structures and whether they are worthy or I was right to can them early.
You've set the expectations there, so
The bar is low.
the bar is low. The only way is up. How have you chosen the order in which you're going to play them?
The first few songs are about a year and a bit old, pulled together when we were first thinking about the idea of trying to write a song a month. Am I capable of coming up here and generating sufficient ideas in order to go a full 12 months, I suppose?
Kicking your own tires kind of thing.
Yeah, have I got that ability to generate the ideas sufficiently quickly?
Put the needle on the record. Listeners, again, if you have any feedback for us, it's stevesatticsongs@gmail.com. And so if you do actually like these enough, Steve can put the source files on his SoundCloud.
This first song is You Said You'd Never Go. You might remember, because Bob, I think you were guest on the first song.
Yeah.
I said I will write one over the year that has a crazy solo in it. And you've never heard it because it never made the cut. But it's here now. You Said You'd Never Go.
Back, it happened quickly. Something shared that made us smile. All at once, conspiratorial. Match made in heaven for a while. You said you'd never go, and I love you both wrong. Cracks would never show. If it ain't so, then I have a right to know. I never knew your glances were my second chances. Looking back, I must have been so blind. So you don't want my babies? Well, I don't want your maybes. Who knew we were only killing time?
Underwater guitar solo.
Never knew your glances were my second chances. Looking back, I must have been so blind.
Quite a choppy beat, isn't it?
Want my baby.
Happy beats.
Yeah, I definitely like the beat.
Your neighbors who
Less than that on guitar.
only killing time.
Yeah, I think the guitar effects hide a multitude of sins, basically. And that's one.
Hide or expose.
That's an
I
example.
like the chord structure of that. Not the guitar, but
No, I think we all agree. But the rest, definitely, there's a really interesting sound.
were you pulling heavy metal guitar faces when you did your solo?
You said you'd never go. We know inside our love would grow. We know inside the cracks would never show. We know inside. Well, if it ain't so, then I have a right to know. You said you'd never go.
Nice,
You
okay.
said you'd never go.
You said
We
you'd never
thought it-
stop.
We thought it would never end.
I just pictured you as a rock god pulling rock god guitar faces as you played that solo,
On your knees.
No, I was just
wiggling your
seated.
tongue like
Oh,
Gene
yeah.
Simmons.
Yeah, I was just fiddling around with effects and picked one that I thought hid most of my errors. I quite like that underwater sort of
effect.
vibe.
You ever tried singing underwater? What was the actual effect you had on the guitar? What was the name of it?
Oh,
It wasn't
yeah,
fuzz.
do you know, I
Was
should
it
know this.
flanging or
It is flanging, but I think it's maybe something called jet engine or something like
Right,
that.
aye.
I can't remember.
But I really like just the
the acoustic track?
Acoustic strumming.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's something catchy in that. I think that there's definitely that bit you could do
It
something with
reminded me. I don't know why, because it's probably not a similar melody, but it reminded me of the chords structure. There was a Style Council song called Head Start for Happiness, and it had this sort of acoustic guitar intro like that.
Uh-huh.
Just with repeated chord shapes and stuff. The acoustic guitar had a nice sound, but the underwater guitar was it seemed to destroy everything else in the track.
The question is, why didn't I put it forward? This is probably the one song that I cannot definitively remember why I didn't put it forward.
I'd say the acoustic track and the singing belonged to a different song than the
Yeah,
guitar
yeah.
solo.
I totally agree.
Yeah, great acoustic guitar sound, and the singing ties in with the acoustic guitar sound. Don't know, you must have had a brain hemorrhage or something when you were doing your guitar solo.
That would explain
It may be that promise that I made. I thought
Copious amounts of drugs and alcohol.
that this is the song where I'm going to keep that promise. But the other possibility is I thought it was a bit like the first song in style, and maybe I just wanted to try something.
Yeah, in a different
Yeah,
register.
just it's something different.
And now for something completely different.
A massage from the Swedish Prime Minister.
Should we move on? Should we move on to song number 2?
Yes.
This next one's called Same Old Me, Same Old You. And it's not a complete song.
I like it. It's moody.
It's a bit proggy.
I know I'm
Not
not
now.
wasting time. I know that it would be unkind of me. It would be so unkind not to say that you're never out my mind. Whoa, yeah. Give me some of your familiarity, baby. I know I'm not wasting time. I know that it would be unkind of me. It would be so unkind not to say that you're never out my mind. Whoa, yeah. Give me some of your familiarity, baby. Same
Your case, Steve.
old me, same old you. Same old me, same old you. Same old me, same old you.
I think I found the drums
Same
annoying.
old
Yeah, no,
me, same old you.
it needs a different rhythm.
I like that change there.
I had me tap on my toes. I was quite like the rhythm, although the drum track was maybe a wee bit intrusive.
Yeah, it was. wasn't
Yeah.
But was it all done on synthesizer and drum machine?
the drum, yeah.
Yeah.
So the drum, at the start, there's organ, there's that's some saxophone as well.
Right.
But it's not a great saxophone synth. The guitar solo is just made normal audio, so
Right.
it's me playing that and recording on the mic there. I just thought it was too wet, I think, to get near Bangerama. Well, it was nice, I suppose, which is almost like a derogatory term.
Well, yeah, you could almost imagine Kermit the Frog singing parts of, sections of it. I think it's two different things that don't really work together. The drum and the rhythm, and then the rest of it, they just don't really seem to work. I think again.
The melody seemed decent enough.
It's quite an odd melody in that the words sort of almost like tumble on and on and on. It'd be wrong for me not to say that I never, and all this sort of stuff. I don't know whether that worried me that might sound awkward.
No, I liked it. It actually it sounded authentic. It kind of broke the usual rhythm where the words fit straight in.
It does that, yeah.
It's more McCartney than Lennon, I would say. McCartney's songs tend to have quite a convoluted melody and simple chord structure behind it, and whereas John Lennon's songs had more varied chord structure but tended not to have such a complex melody. But yeah, I agree with James. I thought it was pretty good.
But again, it's you're kind of we're sifting, and you can see the little nuggets of gold or silver flashing out at you. There's little moments, and you're like, oh yeah.
That was maybe written March, April last year, and that was a time when I was coming up with lots of ideas, and I think what's happened is maybe one of the other songs I came up with I thought was better, and I had to crack on with doing the production for that.
Right.
And so this got set to the bottom of the pile or put on a shelf, and I just never came back to it.
I guess at the end of the day, when you look at the bottom of the sieving pan, there's not enough banger nuggets for it to be a banger. It doesn't feel that it's got
No,
potential otherwise, but
it's melodious, gentle song, probably not banger material.
foot tapping, not standing up and
No.
banging your head
No.
on the attic ceiling.
No.
So what do you have for our third song?
Okay, so the next one is called The More It Looks Like Shit Street. And I did play you this,
Yeah,
James,
I
because I knew I hadn't put it forward and wasn't going to. I quite like the words to it. It's really my only overtly political song. So here we go.
Which politics were you reacting to?
It was the Conservative government of the time. Politics seemed to be almost like some sort of grim floor show rather than something that affected people.
Yeah.
And it's called The More It Sounds Like Shit Street.
The old boy has a story, you wanna hear it. About the time the mine went off when he was near it. He still has days when he thinks his legs are there. But the more it looks like shit street, the less you care. And in winter he'll be shivering in his chair. It's across still there. She makes the journey for the sake of her family, with nothing but the prospect of being lost at sea, for the chance of a better future if you dare. But the more it looks looks like shit street, the less you care. Now she's landed like a spilt pint on your stair. It's across your bed.
Guitar sirens. Nothing like guitar sirens. Gotta get them in somewhere.
This world has a story, you wanna hear it, about the cliff edge we have built, and we're getting near it. And we look towards our leaders to prepare. But the more it looks like shit street, the less you care. And by winter we'll be burning in our chairs. It's a cross we'll bear.
Sudden ending there.
Abrupt ending, yeah. But kinksy in that one.
Yeah.
Kinksy.
It's the words.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of Ray Davis style.
I quite enjoy listening to it now. It's not a banger, I don't think.
What's the chord change in the verse? Is that the devil's note or whatever they call it? The two chords that almost never combine well. No, it was the verse, like the first line, and then I couldn't quite place what the chord change was into the second.
I think it's going up by a fourth, so not typically a fifth or a third. Yeah, I can't remember.
It struck me as quite kind of.
It's supposed to be
dissonant.
Well, I think that fits in with the song,
Yeah.
and the you say the guitar sirens, and it's supposed to hurt a bit.
I like the guitar. I like the guitar sirens. I must admit. I can't think of any other song that has guitar sirens. There probably is one out there. But
Yeah, there's some punk ones which I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, it could be the theme tune to Taggart or something. You know, it's got that kind of that city vibe to it.
Gritty realism.
So
That sort of marks a chronological break in the tracks. I think the last two that I've got were created for different reasons. In that they were challenges that were made by guests. Whether you could write a slow song of merit. I can't remember what the other one.
slow banger. Is it the rap one?
It's a spoken word / rap. Well, I wouldn't describe it as rap.
Oh, but it's okay.
But it's more like the is it the streets? No,
Streets.
The streets
or the
style.
Sleaford mods, or
yeah, it's probably not as angry as the Sleaford mods.
Can't abide the Sleaford mods.
But this is
Not my
more.
cup of
Okay, we'll do the spoken word one first then. Just Another Dreamer. There she is, just ambling along with white cancellors on. She looks like she's on her way somewhere, but in her head she's already gone. Trying to make sense of something, it seems, or make something out of nothing but dreams. Just thinks in moonbeams. She doesn't see the world around her, means she doesn't suffer from it. Rests a while at the bus shelter, buses come and go, but she'll not be on it. Wears retro tops from second-hand shops that costs more than a brand new one, with that wide-brimmed floppy hat to keep out the sun, and she's all but done. Why hide a face as sweet as a bubblegum pop?
Swimming out to sea, running through her fairground to a waltz her destiny. She's just another dreamer.
This lasts a full 4 minutes, by the way. Brace yourself.
I like the style. I like that.
Whilst my pain is passing through.
That banging voices in there.
I could introduce myself or buy flowers, but she wouldn't thank me. She'd pity me for thinking anything I say or do would be anything but an unwelcome raindrop. She makes the traffic stop. She makes the traffic stop. And rejection would hit me hard, see. Maybe I'd never love again if she were to disregard me. It's a dead end down that lover's lane. My sister says, what's the matter with you? You know what you've got to do. Guess I'm just a dreamer too. Guess I'm just a dreamer too.
Vienna sound about it. It means nothing to me.
Said a few minor chords in there.
So I made up my mind, got myself ready, made myself a little plan. Then my sister says she heard of someone only yesterday who went out walking on her own and never made it home. Suicide, they say. Suicide, they say.
Dreamer, swimming out to sea, running through her fairgrounds to a waltz her destiny. She's just another dreamer, searching for the new, looking out of windows whilst her pain is passing through. She's just another dreamer.
She was just another dreamer, swimming out to sea, running through her fairground to some waltz of destiny. She was just another dreamer, searching out the new, looking out of windows whilst my pain was only passing through. I should have introduced myself or bought flowers, but she wouldn't have thanked me. She'd have pitied me for thinking anything I said or did would be anything but an unwelcome raindrop. And now the world has stopped. And now the world has stopped. And now the world has stopped.
I did like that one. It had a great rhythm. I was curious as to where the lyrics were going as the song progressed. Yeah, I would definitely listen to that one again.
Yeah, I liked it too.
I mean, it's not a banger.
No, it's not a banger, but it's a really interesting piece, and your excellent lyrics come through, and you really want to listen to them. They're centre front.
It's not. It wasn't something that was ever going to be presented, but I like it.
Yeah,
it's
a really good track.
Nice backing.
Yeah.
The piano intro was really interesting, and the strings worked.
And the coda at the end was good as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unanimous thumbs up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
I don't know that you even need to revisit that much, because it didn't sound much like a demo to me. It sounded fairly close to the finished article.
My brother, he didn't like the end of the song because he said, do they have to kill themselves? Can you not just
move away or something?
Yeah. well, can you not leave it sort of open-ended?
Is it just that basically the guy, the protagonist, is fixated on a woman but can never find the courage to actually
tell her?
Yeah. So this next song is a ballad.
This is the banger ballad.
I was challenged by Douglas to write a ballad, and he said, if you write a ballad, it's going to be scored one. And in fairness, it wouldn't necessarily be a banger, but the challenge was there to write a good ballad. So that's what I set out to do. This is called The Story of You and I.
Bring it on.
You and I.
Second effort vocally.
I thought that we would rule the sky, and even even when the cold winds blew, we knew that they would blow on by. I guess that was the story of you and I. Your dreams took you away, but whether you found them, who can say? So many empty pages turned as I learned it's hard to stay. Just waiting for this day.
Do you want tissues?
Can I have a pillow?
I better not say what I was going to say.
Be free, be free.
It's 2 more verses.
Wow, 2 whole more verses.
A lengthy coda.
Oh no!
And so I hope it's true that in your heart you always knew, and that you always understood why I could never bring myself to tell you my story of me and you. And now I heave a sigh and walk towards what will be our last goodbye. And though it's hard to let you go, and I know it's wrong to even try to save the story of you and I. To try to save the story of you and I.
Interesting. I don't think that one really. Your voice is not suited to that style of song, I don't think.
After hearing what Duncan said, I think your voice can do anything. It's just leaning into it, and it makes it quite unique. But yeah, that was a nice experiment.
It was an experiment.
Quite liked it. Is it arpeggios or what you're playing on the piano? Yeah. I quite like that.
Yeah, I got bored of it very quickly. Quite repetitive.
What I was going to say, how many verses is it altogether? 4?
4.
I was going to say you could do with dropping a verse, putting some kind of bridge.
It really is about the words, really. It's like the story, because it's saying, we were together when we were young, you went away, I had to stay. Whether you found your dreams, I don't know. And then it's the last verse is sort of slightly more ambiguous. As I walk towards what will be our last goodbye, that could be the person's died and they're just going to their funeral. When I wrote this and sang it, I was in floods. I couldn't sing it through crying.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it about an actual person or situation?
No, it's
No?
not. It is and it isn't. It's like all songs. It's like a sort of a hybrid. Because I was trying to sort of think, well, why on earth did I write that? And then I sort of concluded that it was about me and Andy, my brother. World's your oyster. He then goes to the US, and I don't see him. So many empty pages turn. Blah 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 blah. But then after that, it goes into something else. It's more of a sort of a unrequited love story thing. So it isn't about Andy as such. But I wondered whether that is what sort of attached
Inspired
the
it.
emotional edge to it. I had to go away for a couple of weeks and come back to sing it. I was imagining what that must have felt like, and I guess it's like the clearances or the emigration that went on, where the people you grew up with. It could be brother and sister. It could be childhood sweethearts. But one has to emigrate, and then basically you never see them again until you've heard their deed. It's that type of sadness and emotion in it. But I don't have that emotion in my voice, or I certainly can't control it in the same way that Shane MacGowan could control his that emotion.
Do you ever double track your vocals?
Yeah, some of the earlier songs were double tracked.
Harmonise on the vocals.
Oh, harmonising.
Not just harmonising, but double tracking.
There's some double tracking we played with, maybe about song 3 or 4,
Right.
I think. What I tended to use that to help hide flaws.
Right.
So if I got it wrong on one, the other would sort of
Cancel
smooth it out. And as we progressed, the later songs, there's lots of harmonies. So we played with that as well. So just do all that.
I suppose I should listen to the later songs.
This one is sort
They
of
improve.
deliberately minimalist, laid bare.
Right.
I think in someone else's hands, it's quite a powerful song, and also I think the violin solo and ending that's playing alongside the vocal, I really liked that.
It suited that instrumentation.
It was never going to come to the table as a banger.
I thought the violin effect worked really well, having it as the solo and then coming in the last verse too. That worked pretty well.
And that's it.
Brilliant.
Those are the 5.
Well, that's been an interesting...
My favourite was the spoken word, definitely.
Yeah, that's definitely my favourite as well.
Best of the rest.
Best
of the rest, so to speak. Yeah.
Indeed, but it just shows the breadth of your creativity, Steve. Excellent. Any hints about song number 10, looking forward?
It's the last song, so I considered that the whole 10-song series as being a set. The last song is the encore, so it's got to be upbeat. In some of the other songs I've been criticised, or comments have been I slow things down and speed them up, in my mind, to make them interesting and to build in natural breaks which help contrast the song. Song 10, I just didn't bother with any of that. It's just full pace from start to finish.
Wow, okay. Thanks again, Bob, for making it all the way up.
No worries.
And Steve, thanks for sweeping up the floor and finding these.
My pleasure.
Yeah, no, these were good. That was.
Thank you for listening.
I was actually expecting a lower quality, so
Right.
these were.
Well,
They didn't make the banger cut.
No, they didn't. They certainly didn't make the banger cut. There are other scrapings of lower quality if you're interested.
It's like shit streak the less you care. And by winter we'll be burning in our chairs. It's a cross we'll bear